Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Journaling on a Budget starting from scratch. And today we're going to work on another page in our book and we are going to make a zigzag pocket. So I thought that I would show you first what we did last week. I did add a couple of things. So this is how it looks in our book. And I added a little flower to the center here because I thought that X was just too plain. And then one of the flowers that I thought would look pretty on our tag, but then I found this one. I thought, well, you know, they look really nice together, and that would give this page just a little extra something, but it will still have a lot of place to write on. And so I did that. I just did those little additions on last week's page. And so this week we are going to work here on the page next to our little T cards. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a zigzag card, and that is this, our zigzag pockets. And so each one of these is a pocket, getting bigger as you go, so you can put a big tag and then smaller, smaller, smaller as you go down. And so this is what we're going to do today. What you need to make this size is you need 5 pieces of paper, but you can make them any size that you want to. Here's one that I made that was just 3 pieces of paper, and all you need is your papers to be the same size. So I have cut out 5 sheets of paper, yep, and I cut them out of the, what do you call it? Out of the stenograph, whatever that is. I forget. Anyways, I cut them out of this paper, and then I'm going to show you how to make it. We're just going to move the book for now, and I have marked these because of the way that they fold, how they're going to look after I fold them. So this is going to be my back sheet, and then we're just going to take the second sheet and we're going to put it on top. And we're going to start right at that very corner and just fold it back a little ways. Now, if you want, you can mark your pages so that all of these are exactly the same. To me, that doesn't make a big difference, but that fold was not good because you need to go right to the, you're going to go right to the point up there, right up to that corner. And then come down like that. So I fold it this way because it's easier, but we don't want this flap, and I don't want to cut it off because it gives us sturdiness. So now, after I have folded it how I want it, I'm going to just fold it over the other way. It's just easier doing it that way than trying to fold it under and get everything right. And then we're just going to put just a touch of glue on that. And we'll spread that around so that it doesn't leave our paper all bulky. You don't have to do the whole thing. You just want to keep it so that it stays folded down. And when you stick something in that pocket, it doesn't get stuck on this flap on the way back out. So there we go. There's pocket number 1. And then what we're going to do is, this is the back side where we folded that under. And we're just going to go along the edge. We're going to go along both sides and along the bottom. And then just line it up on our other page. And this will make our very first pocket. I'm just going to line that right up with that top corner. Like that. And line up my edges. And I did something wrong. Let me take this off. The first thing you want to do is, if you want to line it, if you want it to have marker on it so you've got that zigzag look like this, it's easier to do before you put it together. So I'm going to do it in green because the other side is green. I debated blue or green because our page it's going on is blue, but I'm going to do it in green. So you don't have to go around the edges or anything. You just need to do the top one. I'm going to use my ruler just because it's easier to make a straight line, and I want a straight line. So there we go. Now we will glue it to our back page. We'll need to put a little bit more glue on here since I pulled it off of there. Now remind me on the other ones to put that green on there before I put it together, okay? All right, now we're going to line it right up at the top. Right up at the top corner. Line up our edges. And when you're all done, if your edges don't meet like you want them, you can always cut it when you're done. So there's number one. Okay, then put this over here. Okay, so there's one, there's two. Okay, now we're going to put this one on here. Line it up first. And then what we're going to do is we are going to fold it from this point down the other way. Now, your paper's going to stick out over here. That's okay. We'll just cut that off. So we're just going to go to that point and then decide how far down we want to come. I want this to be about the size of that, not exactly, because, you know, really if it was exactly the same size as that, it would go straight across. But I don't want to have a great big huge difference, so line it up right there and then bring it down on an angle like that, and then we'll just flip it back over to put it on the back side. And now we'll just cut this extra little piece off right here like that. And again, put a little bit of glue on here just so that nothing gets caught on it. And then, so we don't forget, make sure that we put our line up at the top. And if you don't want to do this part, you don't have to do this part. To me, that's what makes it look like a zigzag pocket. It shows that zigzag. And then we're just going to put glue along three sides. This is a super easy pocket, which actually, it really gives you some interest to look at. And it gives you lots of space because it gives you 4 pockets when you're done, or however many pockets depending on how many sheets of paper you decide to use. Just going to line that one up right there. Now I'm lining it up with the point here. If my bottom's a little bit long, which it is because I didn't line it up quite right when I put it together, that's totally fine. This is where you want to line it up. That's the most important part. I got it over a little bit too far. So there we go. Now we've got that one glued on. Yep, there was enough. I wanted to make sure there was enough glue at the bottom since that's sticking down a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to cut that little bit extra off where I didn't line it up right, because I cut this to fit in my book with just a little bit of a edging of the blue paper behind it. And so I didn't want to line up with that bottom since it was already too long. There we go. So then we will take our next page, line it up right on top, and then I'm going to fold it this way, starting at this point, and again it's going to stick over the edge there, and I want to come down about maybe right there. So that one's there. I'm going to fold this back over the other way. On my fold line, crease that a little bit better so I can see my fold line. And by folding this over backwards, when you're sliding things in and out, it just makes it so much sturdier than just having one piece of paper there. Now, we stuck out a little on the bottom. We'll just take that off. Take this off the side. Then put a little bit of glue on the back. Press that down. Make sure we put our mark across the top. way. And then put our glue on our 3 sides. And we almost have this done. That's just how quick they are. There we go. Again, lining it up at the point. That's the most important part. Making sure that we line, especially when you are putting the color on there like that. You want that color to line up. And then our last one, again, we're going to line it up at the bottom. And this one, we are going to go this way. Like that. Then we'll fold it back over. Remembering that this is our piece and cutting off all of this extra. Like that. Glue it together. Aha! Put the green on the top. I made it all the way to the bottom without forgetting. And then glue our 3 sides. And like I said, you can do as many pieces of paper as you want to. This one I have enough space left. I probably could do one more. Lining it up right there. And there we go. Now, one thing that I realized is, excuse me, when I first started this one, I cut an angle off the top. I started at the very top corner and did that first angle right there. And then I went back and forth because that gave me an angle at the top of my page instead of my page being square like this one. So if you wanted to do it like this, you would do it exactly the same way, except you would first cut an angle and then just start with your next piece of paper and go this way, this way, this way, and this way. So that is something that I messed up on. But, you know, it all comes out in the wash. That's something my mom used to say. And then do I really want to try one more? I could do one more. You have a nice little pocket at the bottom. And since I had that scrap paper sitting there anyways, that's funny, it's upside down. Oh. It is upside down, and that's all right. And this one's going to go right there. It's a little bit long, so I'll just cut it off when I'm done. Glue this down. Whoop. Put our line across the top. That would have been funny if I would have forgot that one, since I bragged on the last one that I made it all the way through without forgetting. And that one's going to go right there. See, so you can make as many as you want to. Line that up. And there we go. Cut this off at the bottom. And there we go. And then the finishing touch is to just go around the edges with your marker. Just to give it that finishing touch on the outside edge. I think I got it a little bit wide here at the bottom. Then I just missed some over here, so I'll just fill that in. And then it doesn't catch really well when you get to the folded part, so I just want to make sure I fill that in. And there we go. And just do that all the way around. Yeah. See, this is why I have the plastic tablecloth, because it doesn't bother me if I get anything all over it. And finally, right across here. And I always leave my marker on here when I'm coloring the extra spots, usually, because inevitably I would accidentally go up over the line, and then it would bother me, and then I'd try and fill it in more and more, and pretty soon my line would cover the whole page. So there we go. There is our zigzag pocket, and we can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags in there. And if we don't glue down the back, which is originally what I was going to do with this one, I was just going to go around 3 sides. That would be 1 pocket, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to put that in our book here, like that, leaving just a little bit of the blue edging around the edge. I thought that would kind of set it off nicely. And the green goes with the page next to it. And then I thought maybe when we get ready to make tags for this, we could go ahead and use some of this vellum possibly to make some tags. And because of this book the way it is, I don't really like to have like these words or these big green things here. So when I cut it, I just thought about, when I was cutting my pages, what part would be showing. So that really I only had the shorthand. That's what it is, shorthand. I only had the shorthand showing, except for this one that I did upside down, and it does have writing on the bottom, because that was just an added extra thought. But that is how we do that. And then you can just take your tags, and you can have a really nice big tag that's like this tall. And then your next tag could be like this tall, and just all the way down, so that your tags just get smaller and smaller as you go. When you get all to the bottom, you could, now this one's even going to be too big for the bottom because it covers up that way. But just go from a great big tag all the way down to a little tiny tag. So that's our project for today. I hope that you enjoyed that, and if you make them, I hope you have fun making some yourself. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you want to see all of the videos, hit the bell button. I've had a couple people make a comment. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm always here on Tuesdays with Build Your Stash and Craft, and on Thursdays with Journaling on a Budget, starting from scratch. Sometimes I have videos in between, so if you hit the bell, you won't miss those. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure, kind of what's going on, but if you want to make sure you see all the videos, just click that bell and they will remind you that I put up a video, or just let you know. Thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.